Welcome to the vlog. That was the worst start to the vlog. That's two in a row now where I've had the worst start to the vlog, but welcome to the vlog. Today we're going to be speaking about nutrition. Who are you? Anyway, today we're going to be speaking about nutrition. Specifically, what the difference is and how I would set up my nutrition, or how I do set up my nutrition. Maybe you could take something away from this when I'm training in the AM or PM. So typically I train in the PM on Friday, which is today, and how I train in the AM, which is a Saturday. So I'm actually going to run you through what I typically eat on the Thursday, which was yesterday, and then I'm going to show you what I eat today, and then how I eat tomorrow. So this is going to be filmed over 2 days, 2 DOS, isn't that 2-2? It's going to be filmed over 2 days, and let's get cracking. I think that was a good intro. I'm going to leave it in. We have approximately 2 scoops of whey protein with 150 milliliters of milk, and we have 40 grams of Oreo cereal. The reason why I have quite a little breakfast, quote unquote, considering I am in a mass, is I just feel very poor with a lot of carbohydrates in the AM. So I'm going to be training at 5 today, so I am going to be having a little bit of carbohydrates now. I would actually normally have like a whey protein shake or something. I actually felt quite hungry today, so I've got some carbohydrates. So the days I typically feel quite hungry, I'll just have a little bit of carbohydrates and just take some away from my final meal, which isn't too much at the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. So that is the plan. I'm going to eat this, and then I'm going to get some work done, and then I'll catch up with you in a bit. Do you know what? I absolutely hate YouTubers who say, I'm going to catch up with you in a bit. Shut up. I'm having the Locked On, which is a nootropic. I was going to say it's like a nootropic, but it actually is a nootropic. I either have this, or I have a coffee in the morning, typically with some water, to keep hydrated. But I've got a lot of work to do, like 2 or 3 hours worth of work to do, including a podcast. And I need a little bit of cognitive clarity, and this gives me that little bit of an edge, you know, so I can think of cool words and stuff. You did. You did. You did. You did. So that was 2 or 3 hours worth of work done. I say 2 or 3, it was actually 3. So what I'm going to do is take you to a park. I'm going to speak to you about nutrition, and then I'm going to get my hair cut. How sick. But yeah, the last vlog I tried to take this camera, or take you guys, to the park, and then I realised whilst carrying the tripod and camera that I was entering a heavily populated kid park, and it just looked a tad too suspect. I didn't necessarily like it. So what I'm going to do is take you to a park where there isn't necessarily, it's not heavily populated by kids. And I feel much more comfortable talking to you about nutrition. Because that's all I want to talk to you about, is nutrition. Sick. You did. You did. You did. Okay, so welcome back to the park. It's a sick angle, isn't it? I actually feel one with the earth. Anyway, I've actually written down, and I might put this up here instead of showing the camera, because I'm aware that I tried to do it just now. Looked pretty crap, but so we have our Friday nutrition and we have our Saturday nutrition. Now, with the Friday nutrition, it's going to differ to Thursday's nutrition. So on the Thursday, what I would do is have meal 1 and meal 2 is going to be low to moderate carbohydrates, with a pre-workout is going to be high in carbohydrates, and then the post-workout is going to be high in carbohydrates as well. And then my meal 5 will be low to moderate carbohydrates. Now on the Friday, because I've got an AM session, what I would typically do is have two the same meals. I would have the meal 3, which is the pre-workout, I would have high in carbohydrates. Meal 4 will be high in carbohydrates, however I will take a little bit and add it to my end meal. I don't want it too close to my sleep because carbohydrates do worsen sleep quality. So what happens with kind of carbohydrates when you have it too close to bed is we'll have a massive kind of blood glucose spike, and then we'll kind of have like that little crash. So it will actually, so you might be a little bit more fidgety, or you might actually get up. That would be the worst case if you actually get up. So yeah, that's what will happen. So I typically have low to moderate carbohydrates on that day. I'll make sure I'll just have, or on the Friday, I'll just make sure I have a little bit more carbohydrates, but I have it like 2 or 3 hours before bed. If I'm overly hungry, then I'll just have like a protein shake. I'm in a mass, so I can pretty much get away with that. It's about an extra 100 calories, so not the end of the world. And then on the Saturday, what I do is I don't necessarily have that much carbohydrates in the morning. Me personally, again, like I spoke earlier on, I don't like loads and loads of carbohydrates in the morning. So what I would do is wake up, I'll use yesterday's carbohydrates, because we don't just eat food and then just kind of utilize it, we need to digest it, etc. So what I would do is eat my meal 5 from the day before. I'll use that carbohydrate source on the Saturday to fuel that meal, to fuel that workout, and then I'll have just like a protein shake, go to the gym, and then intra-workout carbohydrate source, something like dextrose is completely fine. It's really sunny, it's really nice. And then post-workout, I will have a massive bolus of carbohydrates, and then just eat meal 3, 4 and 5 will be low to moderate carbohydrates. So that's how I typically space out my meals. Again, on the Thursday, what I would do is at the end meal, the meal 5, I'll just have a low to moderate carb meal. So that's how I typically set up my nutrition. You may take something away from that. I mean, some people can wake up in the morning and be like really hungry and need some carbohydrate sources, like not like Heinz, but they need a carbohydrate source, which is completely fine. If you can get away with that, do that. But if any of you don't feel that great with carbohydrates in the morning, then maybe try this. Sick, I'm gonna get my hair cut because I'm going to get my hair cut because my hair's a mop. My hair is a mop. I'm not gonna take this hat off because just trust that my hair is a mop. Sick. See you soon.
Hey, Bill, I'm in the mood for a switch up. I hit the function, hit the rose till I hiccup. I hit the stage and leave with money that's a stick up. She picture perfect. So
you're back at home. What a sick transition. Wasn't that a good transition, Natalie?
Amazing.
Amazing. Look at my hair or my beard. Mr. Reese did a very good job, didn't he? Are you cleaning my tubs?
Absolutely.
Thank you for cleaning my tubs. This is a brand new one. This is a brand new one. This is the Endeavour Rainbow Candy pre-workout. It's got 300 milligrams of caffeine in it.
Amazing.
Pretty damn insane. So I'm going to have 1 scoop of that, and I'm also going to lace it with the pump, and I'm also going to have intra-workout the Cola creatine. If you forget to have creatine, get a flavoured one. That is a very good tip, isn't it, Natalie?
Absolutely.
Would you take that as a valid tip?
Yes.
Good. Yeah, look
If
at my
it
hair.
tastes nice, you might want to drink it more.
If it tastes nice, then you wouldn't forget to drink it. Because I used to suck at taking creatine because it didn't taste of anything. But if you have a flavoured one, then you're more likely to drink it. Okay, I'm going to go in for lower now. Goodbye. Pre-workout, I had quite a bolus of carbohydrates, and then post-workout, I'll have another bolus of carbohydrates. I'll probably catch up with you tomorrow morning. See you in a bit. Much love. Morning. It is around 9 AM. We are 1 hour out from an upper session. Typically I read caffeine and I've got some whey protein, which is going to be my protein source. Again, minimal carbs in the morning. So I'm going to do protein shake. I'm going to have some intra-workout carbs, train with the intra-workout carbs, and then have a nice succulent meal with carbohydrates post-workout. Sick.
You did. You did. You did. You did.
Welcome to the car. I realised I didn't introduce two things. Number one, the brand, and number two, Oliver. So first of all, what is 400 million bus tax?
400 million, our clothing brand, streetwear brand. We're sort of loosely basing it around fine art, biblical art, parody. So we're sort of going to interject some things like sneakers and sports that we like. And yeah, so we're working with a couple of artists at the moment. Got some things in the works. They're about to send us some drafts, and then we'll go through some iterations, and then yeah, pick some pieces and get some t-shirts printed. You're already seeing Jack wearing the hat.
Yeah, you've already seen this hat. So we're looking to drop it like, I don't know, like autumn, winter maybe.
Yeah.
That's going to be the first drop. There you are. We're about to train. What are we training?
Upper today.
Upper. We have like 9 movements. 9 movements are like 2 or 3 sets. It's a pretty long one, but it's a doozy. Some would say doozy. Welcome to the gym. I'm Jack, but welcome to the gym. That wasn't a funny joke. I don't know why I said that, but I'm going to take you through this upper session and maybe some kind of form breakdown, or why we're kind of selecting some movements and not selecting some movements. So typically I can't, what would be the word? I can't do more than like 3 or 4 sets. For me, if I do 3 or 4 sets, I just get really kind of psychologically fatigued, would be quite a good word for that. So if I did kind of the 3 and 4, set 1 and 2 are just going through the motions. And then kind of the 3 and 4 are just very unproductive for hypertrophy. So I actually opt for more exercises with less sets. So if, let's just say, for example, you've just seen me do a pull up, an assisted pull up, and now you're seeing me do a lat pull down. I could do 4 of them, kind of the pull ups, but it wouldn't be that beneficial because my mind's just not there. I can get a lot more intensity, as you see here. I can get a lot more intensity by doing, or a lot more beneficial volume by doing 2 separate exercises. This might benefit you, but for sure it's benefited me and my physique. I can just attack the sets with a lot more focus because I know I've only got like 2 on the sheet. I can go to like 3, etc. But that's just how I feel. But yeah, some of you that kind of may help. Some of it may get you to understand that you don't necessarily need like 4 kind of sets on an exercise. You can just spread it up over a while. Generally, for something like a mid row, I could do like 2, 3, or 4 maybe top end. I'll typically start at 2 sets, which we have here, and then we'll kind of add as we go on. As I said in the car, this workout is actually quite long. Typically, I think it's around 9 sets. Mainly all of them are like 2 to 3 sets. So this isn't actually one that we're going to be adding too many sets to. We're going to be adding a lot of sets via the push and the pull sessions. And just there, by the way, was around 2 or 3 RER. All of the movements today are going to be performed at 2 or 3 RER. That's another note that I'll keep saying here, is that when people speak about reps and reserve training, they typically think that a couple of things. Number one, they think that reps and reserve just means very high volume. My MEV and MRV, etc., are really low. So MEV is minimum effective dose or minimum effective volume. So basically the minimal amount of volume you need to do and grow. And maximum recoverable volume is a top end, and anything in between is MAV. So my ability or my total volume isn't actually that high. Now, that could be the fact that I'm quite an advanced lifter. It could be a very different things. Maybe I'll do a whole vlog about why I think my MRV is quite low. But people typically think that the people who train with reps and reserve have incredibly high volume. They also assume that we don't train that hard. But you see here, this is kind of, I think these are 2 reps in reserve, and you see here that I'm pretty much fighting from like rep 7 or 8 onwards. So this for me is, I've got another 2 reps here. So you'll see here that I'm really fighting. It's still hard. It's really hard training still. I don't know why the reps in reserve crowd gets kind of banded in this we don't train hard crowd. But I just want to show that you can train hard and train with reps in reserve, and 2, reps in reserve doesn't necessarily mean high amounts of volume. It actually just means reps in reserve. It just means that. It doesn't mean that we don't train with low volume, because I have really kind of low volume. I think if I trained to failure all of the time, I think my MRV would be considerably lower. I'm not going to say that that wouldn't occur. And that's typically why I opt for the reps in reserve scheme, because I kind of need that extra volume in order to grow. We have data suggesting that from 4, as long as you're training within 4 to 0 reps in reserve, you will grow adequately. And typically we do like periodization, so we kind of manipulate training volume throughout the whole macro cycle. We will talk about that maybe in a later vlog, but yeah, I think that I will talk about kind of reps in reserve and everything else like that. Again, I don't want to kind of get into the nitty gritty before we talk about the kind of basic execution. Like here, you'll hardly ever see any of my execution breakdown, specifically at the back end, and that's another thing that we need to touch on, that when you train incredibly hard all the time, if you're seeing kind of form breakdown, that's no good. We need form at the back end, specifically between kind of 4 to 0 RER. If you're seeing kind of technical form breakdown there, that's no good. We need to be able to have that training experience to kind of fail. So yeah, here's me doing some X raises. I'm gonna go and eat and actually finish this vlog. I appreciate everybody who likes, who shares, and who subscribes. I appreciate this is probably going to be a longer vlog. It's probably going to be around 20 minutes. But yeah, also, if you are in the gym, please do not do what this guy is doing and try and grab the, I don't know what he's grabbing. He's grabbing like a grip or something. Just have a little bit of gym etiquette. Anyway, I appreciate everybody who likes, who shares, and subscribes. And I'll speak to you in a bit. I will quickly add that post-workout I did have a very high meal in carbohydrates. I did have some protein, and that is nutrition. If you did find any of this information a bit too complex, shoot me a message on Instagram and I'll talk you through it. Anyway, I appreciate everybody who likes, who shares, and subscribes. I'm going to try and get to 100 subscribers on here. That would be fantastic. But anyway, thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed the vlog. I am going to go to sleep.
You dig?